Getting into home audio is fraught with challenges from the start. What do I need? Do I go digital or analog? How much do I spend? What are the best brands? Where should I buy it? How do I set it up? Well, I'm not going to get into any of that. There are plenty of other online resources to help you with that topic. This video is for someone who's probably been into home audio for a while and currently has invested a decent amount into a setup, but perhaps only buys new gear. He or she may be wary of the used hi-fi market, thinking older components are obsolete or worn out of warranty, and are difficult to get serviced. These are all very valid points. And if you have an aversion to risk, then stick to the new in the box stuff. However, in my opinion, you are really missing out on some serious fun. Used gear has tremendous value. High-quality audio components that sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars a few decades ago can be found for a mere fraction of their original selling price. Aside from advances in digital technology and material science, older hi-fi gear can hold its own very well against modern devices in regards to sound quality. In this video, I'm going to show you some choice components that I've acquired recently that, when combined, make a killer hi-fi system that I believe most audiophiles would be impressed with. Hello again from my own devices. I'm Dave, and this channel is very close to reaching the magic 1,000 subscriber threshold. Please subscribe and help me get there. Also, don't forget to like the videos you enjoy. It helps all YouTubers. Thank you. I prefer to buy hi-fi from the original owners who are perhaps downsizing, or from someone who recently acquired the gear and don't have any use for it and want to clear it out. Sometimes the components have been sitting unused for years in attics or garages, and they can be dusty, damp, moldy, or bug-infested, but often they're well cared for and in pretty good condition. This receiver was listed for $150 by a used appliance and furniture dealer in Jacksonville. I already own the little brother to this model, so I know how good it is. And when I arrived, I could see the guy knew about fridges and washing machines, but audio gear was not his thing, and he admitted it. I pointed out the missing remote, broken B speaker terminal, and the slightly bent phono socket. Other than that, it looked pretty good, and I quickly decided I wanted it, and eventually I got it for $60 out the door. This top-of-the-line 100-watt per channel Nakamichi is from 1989. When they were licensing the STASIS amplifier design from the high-end audio company Threshold. It retailed new for about $1,000, and now they regularly sell for about $500 on eBay. They have a great reputation for their fantastic sound. When I got it home and hooked it up, I did start to notice a few glitches when listening. The speakers were cutting out intermittently, and I determined that the culprits were the tone bypass and moving magnet, moving coil phono buttons on the front. Also, the speaker selector switch was acting funny as well. I cracked it open and gave the various pots and switches a thorough deoxit cleaning. When I connected it back up, it appears that it mostly did the trick. It didn't come with the remote, and they're pretty costly on eBay, and considerably more than the $60 I paid for it. However, did you know that these Logitech Harmony remotes are cheap and amazing? They're like $15, and they could be programmed easily to handle just about any brand of component out there. I found these Bowers & Wilkins DM601 Series 2 bookshelf speakers that were for sale as part of somebody's surround sound system. I asked the seller if he would just sell the B&Ws, and the pictures were a little fuzzy, but we agreed on a price of $50. Now, due to COVID, deals are now often taking place in parking lots and gas stations, and when we met, he informed me that they'd been sitting in the garage for a while, and the exchange took place quickly, and I drove them home. The 600 series are B&W's entry-level line that started in the mid-90s. These are from around 1998, I believe. They're well known for their woven Kevlar yellow woofers and metal dome tweeters. These highly regarded models retail for about $400 new and regularly sell now for about $200 on eBay. Now, upon further inspection, I discovered that one of them had some water damage to the MDF and the vinyl wrap. More on that later. Then I found a big and solid Technics SL1100A turntable in a listing from Charleston, South Carolina. I wasn't very familiar with this model, but I soon learned that it became a favorite of DJs and radio stations early on in the 70s, a couple years before their legendary SL1200 models began selling. I paid $200 for it, and I really like its incredible build quality and higher-end features like RCA jacks instead of hardwired phono cables, and the ability to upgrade the tone arm, although I think the stock one is pretty nice. It's in good shape and fully functional. There are clear signs of wear around the edges though, and the speed needs to be periodically adjusted. This model did not have a hinged dust cover, but rather the type that you lift off when in use. And these are not easy to find, but I'm still looking. A cartridge was not included, so I started out with a new Audiophile 2M Red that I picked up for only about $55 a few months ago. As I said previously, the meeting with the B&W speaker seller was very brief, and upon further inspection I could see that one of the speaker cabinets experienced water damage. Now when MDF gets exposed to water for a long period of time, it swells and expands, and that causes the wood or vinyl veneer to permanently bulge. Eventually, the MDF begins to disintegrate and turn into bits of dust. The best solution that I employed is to carefully dig and scrape out the loose material, and in some more severe cases, I will replace the missing MDF with wood filler, while preserving the veneer as much as possible from damage. With these, the best I could do is fill the gaps with wood glue and use clamps to maintain the shape of the cabinet edges. It takes a couple days as I wait for the glue to set and dry between applications. I use a black Sharpie to hide some of the dings and evidence of repaired damage. Obviously it's far from perfect, but the damage has been stabilized and is no longer falling to bits. Luckily, the imperfections on these speakers are in the back of the cabinet, and to me, speakers are like furniture. They really need to look presentable to be acceptable. I reckon it's time to hook them all up and give this $365 system a good listen. I'll use my little room here for this session. With the Audiophile Red, this system is outstanding. Plenty of punch and tight bass. A wide and deep soundstage and beautiful, precise imaging. The high frequencies are smooth and crisp. When many enthusiasts see small bookshelf speakers, they often remark, "Oh, you're going to need a subwoofer with those." Let me say here, a sub is not always necessary with speakers this size. Bass response is relative. Specifications don't tell the entire story. I ask myself, are they generating a credible and enjoyable presentation of the music? To me, in this room, they sound fantastic. There's enough bass. I'm happy and satisfied. No sub needed here. In a bigger room, perhaps, but not here. After a while, I couldn't resist and upgraded the cartridge to my $250 Audio-Technica moving magnet. This model is considered the giant killer by many, and it took this hi-fi to the next level. The microline stylus reduces record surface noise by getting deeper into the groove and retrieving more music detail from the record along the way. This is noticeably my best sounding turntable. It is more dynamic, rhythmic, and has a quieter noise floor than my other three Technics models. I can't stop listening to this system. Getting legendary components at bargain prices is a great feeling. And then you get to brag about it online to your fellow enthusiasts. So what's the point of all this? Well, to summarize, don't be afraid of vintage gear. It's so much fun. Now, sometimes the stuff you bring home will need a little TLC. But with that comes a learning experience which makes you more familiar and immersed in your purchase. And there's a feeling of satisfaction when you get it looking and sounding good.